by the judge that issued the warrant. I may not have authorization to modify the bond set by that judge. If you're here in a domestic violence case, I may enter a separate order relating to pretrial release, which will prohibit you from having contact with the alleged victim in your case. This proceeding is being recorded. You have the right to remain silent, and anything you say could be used against you in a later proceeding. You have the right to communicate with counsel, family, or friends, and if necessary, a reasonable means will be afforded for you to do so. Ma'am, can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you so much. You can put your hands down. Ma'am, can you please state your name for the record?
Ann Sulpizio.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, you're here on two different cases this morning. The first case that you are here on, I have that you are indicating that you wish to have the appointment, a private attorney. You're going to hire one. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do you wish to have the appointment of a public defender for today's purposes? And then if you wish to hire a private attorney later, you may do so.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I will go ahead and appoint the public defender's office. Ms. Graves is a representative from their office. And I will appoint the PD on both cases, Ms. Graves. The first case that you're here on, ma'am, is you're here on a Lake County warrant for 1 count murder of a law enforcement officer as a principal, 7 counts of attempted murder, 1 count battery by strangulation, 2 counts battery, touch, or strike, and 1 count battery on a law enforcement officer. I reviewed the probable cause affidavit. I am finding probable cause on all counts. Mr. Lozano, Ms. Graves, do you wish to be heard on the amount of bond on this case?
Yes, Your Honor. Gabriel Lozano for the state of Florida. The state would be seeking pretrial detention at this time to either be pursued pursuant to the pretrial detention statute or the rule on counts 1 and the 7 counts of attempted murder by a law enforcement officer. We are still gathering information, and we'll be filing that pretrial detention motion before the trial court judge.
Okay, and what are you asking for bond as to the battery by strangulation, 2 counts battery, touch, or strike, and 1 count battery on a law enforcement officer?
I would be asking for an enhanced bond, just giving the facts surrounding everything, but I will note for the record that Ms. Sulpizio has no Florida criminal history based on my review.
Okay, Ms. Graves, would you like to be heard?
Your Honor, we'd asked for $2,000 for the battery by strangulation, the battery, touch, or strike, $1,000, battery on a law enforcement officer, $2,500. And if I could tell Ms. Sulpizio one thing real quick.
Yes.
Someone from our office will come and see you today. Okay, it's in your very best interest to not talk to anyone but Morris. He will come and see you today. Okay. Morris.
Okay.
Okay. Just because you're in custody, don't forget where you are. Anything you say can be used against you there. Your phone calls are being monitored. Don't talk to anybody but Morris. You will like him. He's a nice little guy.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. I am going to grant the state's request with regards to the pretrial detention and release under 907.041, finding that there is no way that the court can secure the safety of the public as to counts 1 through 8. That is the 1 count murder and the 7 counts attempted murder. So I will hold your no bond on those cases until a pretrial detention is held within 5 days. As to the battery by strangulation, I'm going to set your bond at $5,000 for the 2 counts of battery, touch, or strike. I'm going to set bond at $2,000 each. And as to the battery on a law enforcement officer, I'm going to set the bond at $5,000. Ma'am, your next court date on this case will be September 3rd before Judge Rada at 8:30 a.m. Again, somebody from the public defender's office will come see you prior to that court date. The second case that you're here on, I've also appointed the public defenders on. is for 1 count battery on a law enforcement officer. Ma'am, I am finding probable cause and setting your bond at $5,000 on that count. That next court date is going to be before Judge Rada on September 3rd at 8:30 a.m. There's
ma'am.
also a no contact order being placed between you and all the alleged victims, ma'am. Do you have you may not have contact with those victims. Ma'am, no contact means no face-to-face contact, no telephone contact, no text messaging, no messaging on any social media platforms whatsoever, nor may you have a third party deliver them messages. If you violate this no contact order, each and every time you violate it, it is a new charge and will subject you to having your bond revoked in this case. Do you understand?
I do, ma'am.
And ma'am, you signed a copy of that no contact order. You will be provided another copy of that. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.